Hello, hello everyone, welcome back to the Mordor campaign. I hope you've been well. It is episode 146, and as you well know, we are going to be fighting a quick battle against some Arnorians. We have Aragorn here, without the settlement, and Arahale, who is within the settlement. Of course, Arahale is not going to be able to take part in this battle, as we are going to attempt a night attack. And, there's not much to say about old Aragorn's army. We've got Aragorn himself, Aravir is in this army, and quite a bit of cavalry. At least 2 full units, and then a 20-man unit. So their cavalry is my primary concern, although their artillery is also very concerning. I don't think it's so concerning, though, that we won't fight the battle. So, I will see you guys on the battlefield. Okay, there really has been no capability of deploying a proper formation because the terrain is all sorts of fucked up. So I've done my best. What we are going to do immediately is disperse our orc band and send them into the very jaws of the enemy because they've got 3 pieces of artillery, and that is completely unnecessary. There's no way to counter that. We are going to move in with the archers, and I would like my archers to focus on their cavalry. And we're just going to deploy all of our men in a line, like so, have them run, so on and so forth, and we will, of course, do the old flank. We are going to come up this hill with maybe the Olaghai as well as the Númenóreans. The Númenóreans will try to do a bit of work on the flank, although it's a bit late now, but we could have come around the flank. You know what, let's get some of our men up here right away to take advantage of that terrain. There we go. Everyone shall run, but my orc band are going to immediately just charge into the open arms, the open and waiting arms of the Arnorians, hopefully drawing their fires, absorbing their arrows with their soft, succulent bodies. That would be truly tremendous. I would very much appreciate that. You know what? I may keep some of the Morning Guard in reserve, actually, to counter the nefarious charges of the cavalry, which is undoubtedly going to make its way to the heart of my missile division. Okay, we're going to move with the raiders, backed by whoever else is left. We just need those archers to get involved, and I gotta say, it looks very much like we have so far been successful in preventing the artillery from taking part in this particular scuffle. We're going to charge the bodyguard here. Looks like they are not prepared to receive such a charge, but then again, they are charging headlong into my Morning Guard. And my own Númenóreans have just completely shit the bed, and oh my god. Look at that, we were actually in position to bog down those sergeants, so it looks like we actually positioned ourselves well. I cannot believe that. How in the world did we manage such a story? Unfortunately, my orc band have contacted the enemy militia, and it's not a pretty story. I do need these halberds to really pick up the pace, though. And these Uruks are going to force a wedge here. Oh, look at that. We were charged by Arnor sergeants. Do I have... Okay, I've got some orc maulers here. They could help out. Excellent. These Olaghai are going to avoid that unit of bodyguard if at all possible. Okay, what is going on? We've got some Morning Guard here trying to fight off Arnor sergeants. We have orc maulers trying to force their way through. Orc archers firing precisely where I want them to. Excellent. And again, the orc band doing an abysmal job. Well, no, I rescind that statement. They're doing precisely what I wanted them to do. Okay, we are going to try to use these maulers, though, to demolish whoever opposes us. Okay? And I completely neglected to have my orc band move in a timely fashion, and fuck, we are now getting riggedy wrecked by those ballistas. How do we overcome this? Okay, so those Dunedain bodyguard are going to charge into my Uruk-hai. Let's try to intervene here. Oh fuck, did they really not succeed in that charge? It seems so. It looks like those Arnor sergeants were dashed upon the rocks, as it were. But we need to intercept these Dunedain bodyguard before they get to my Uruks, because that would be a messy situation. Okay, hold on here. This is a fucking shit show. I need my infantry to retreat. I need my maulers to tear down these units of cavalry, backed by the Morning Guard. And these raiders are going to take a step back as well. These guys really need to force the issue in the center, okay? Now these Uruks as well, going around the flank. We're going to... I'm hoping that the cavalry doesn't get wise and see what we're doing here, but shit, those ballistas are, really fucking my day up. Okay, come on. We're going to disengage the Númenóreans and make hay of these ballistas. If only it were possible that my Númenóreans would get their dicks out of their asses and fucking get a move on. Good lord. Okay, so what is this? This is a bodyguard unit that's now bogged down in my Uruk-hai. There's a bunch of infantry support en route. We have some Arnor sergeants here, which are probably going to prove to be an issue for my infantry. So let's charge them with the Morning Guard. Maybe I can pin them in place. Come on, you assholes. Change target. No, they've got tunnel vision, and all of the cavalry is now charging and chasing after my general unit. Let's bring it back around where it needs to go. What the fuck is going on here? Oh my god, those ballista units are just fucking my entire plan, because my archers are basically sitting in a line waiting to get shot. I love it! And I have not been able to manage this efficiently. What is going on here? In the center, we have some Dunedain knights that are going to be charged, okay? By some orc maulers. Here we go. And where is this cavalry? It is still not engaged. Okay, what is going on here? We've got some halberds, some Morning Guard, and some... Let's just fucking bring them in. My infantry is really pissing me off in this situation. Okay, the Uruk-hai have finally been put into place. Can we charge through here to silence these missile units, the missile contingent of their army? Maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to do some fucking damage. Good lord. Here we go. We've made it through. Let's start disrupting. What are you firing at? Arnor sergeants. Okay, carry on, my wayward son. Do what you gotta do. Fucking shit. Let's see. We're actually not doing too bad. 10% of our army is gone. And we are now charging into the flanks of the enemy with heavy infantry. We have surrounded some cavalry units on the flanks. Looks like they are not long for this world, that's for sure. Good golly, Miss Molly. They are going to be thrust into the underworld shortly. Soon enough. And there we go. Let's get our Númenóreans to pin in this remaining cavalry as well. Just end them whilst we can. Look at that. Those Arnor sergeants were able to slip away. I love that they're able to do that. That's my favorite part of the game. That is my favorite part of the game, when 9 men slip away and return to just cause unbelievable havoc. I love it. No, I'm not salty. In fact, I'm peppery today. I'm pretty spicy. Oh, shit. I do have to say, there's a lot of Arnorians just getting charred as we speak. They're just frying up. We're having a good old Arnorian fry. It's most excellent. Okay, here come the Morning Guard. Completely ineffectual in their timing. What in the fuck is going on here? We've got some... Are these orc maulers that are just getting demolished? Or... Why is it we're receiving a bunch of casualties in this unit? Is it because of this cavalry? I assume so. Hard for me to say. Alright, so it seems we've taken care of the cavalry on the flank. Let's get the Morning Guard involved. As well as these maulers. They're going to come far afield and take out that ballista. Now, my Numenorians really need to work on wherever those dismounted Dunedain knights are. And let's build a battle line here. So we can get these maulers in. And let us... Okay, we are not going to get a good charge off on these knights, but we're going to attempt it anyway. Because there's a very real possibility that we do enough damage to break them. Or at least shake them and get a bit of a chain route going on. Because it looks like a lot of these militia units are not doing so hot. Okay, again, let's turn around. Deal with these archers, because it seems that that was a completely ineffectual attempt on the life of those knights. But oh shit, we got a bodyguard unit here that we can definitely box in and bog down in all of this infantry. There's only 3 of them left, so this is a assassination mission essentially. Oh god, my Nazgul is gonna get ready to... Oh, looks like the general has slipped away. Or the Lord, or whoever he is. Well, it's not the Lord, but he is a Lord. Let's be clear. This Lord would never rest, okay? He would not rest on the 7th day. He would continue towards glory. Okay, we're going to get our archers off the field because they're basically just wasting their time at this point, right? Isn't that correct? It most definitely is. I know it for a fact. Where the fuck are my Alekhai? All the way back there. Come on. Come on, what are you guys doing to me? You been sleeping on the job again? Are you napping? Is that it? Alright, we have completely demolished the infantry division of the enemy army. Now it's just a matter of mopping up. Let's get some charges initiated on these archers and let us target some high-value targets with our Nazgul. For example, this unit that is fleeing. The less, or rather, the fewer Arnorians that make it out of the battle, the better. Especially when it comes to capturing Bairig. The assumption is that some of these men, at the very least, are going to make it into the settlement. And good lord, these archers are going to piss me off to no end. I know this from experience. Chasing archers with infantry, my least favorite part of all those battles with the Sylvan Elves. It's all coming back to me now. It's like PTSD, big time, and it's fucking annoying. Okay, boom. Another unit of archers has been scattered to the 7 winds, to the 9 corners of the world. Because as we all know, Middle-earth has taken place on a 20-sided die. Okay, if there are 20 sides, how many points are there? This is the question that needs answering. My guess is 32, okay? I just pulled that out of my ass. There's no research or logic that has gone into it, but I want to say there's 32 points to a 20-sided die. Boom. Okay, another unit gone. For a second, I was really considering the thought process behind that. Like, really? 30 points? Is that your final answer? And yes, unequivocally yes, my final answer is 32 points. Of course, if you do know the answer, I would be more than happy for you to drop everything you're doing, visit me in person, and slap me silly, because I should really not be making unfounded statements like that. You know, I should be making I should research the true status of the 20-sided die before I make any sort of definitive statement. But here we are in the era of fake news, and people not fact-checking shit. And anyway, let's get less political and exit the battle. Here we go. Shazam. We lost 600 orcs, mostly in our orc band, of course. Secondly, in our Morning Guard. The rest are pretty acceptable, aside from these Uruk archers. That really grinds my gears. However, we have healed 81 orc band, so for every 2 orcs that were slain in that unit, 1 arose. I don't understand the biology there, but whatever. I'm just going to throw my hands up in the air and thank the Dark Lord. Alright, we have isolated Byrrig. Both Aragorn and Lord Eravir have made it inside the settlement, much to my great disappointment. I would very much like to... should we just do this turn? Can we just besiege it? I'm looking at this... these forces, rather, up by this bridge here, which I think is the only crossing, aside from Tharbad. Yeah, the only river crossing is here. The next is all the way up here. We really need to control that. Unfortunately, we don't have the movement points to get into position, nor are we able to switch out units. Is that correct? Yeah, okay, so we are basically unable to assault Byrrig proper this turn, but we will be able to do so next turn. As for the Arnorian armies, they are roughly a turn away from Austin Edel, a turn away from blocking me in on this river crossing here. Regardless, we will capture Byrrig and then turn around to defeat whoever opposes us without much of a fight. That is my assumption. We do have basically perfect intel on these armies, though. And what's really frightening me in this army is the 2 units of Arnor Knights. That freaks me right the fuck out. But also the rather large contingent of Dunedain and artillery. So there's stuff to be afraid of. Luckily, we do have quite a lot of power / manpower, power projection, let's say, in this particular region, so that's not too bad. As for Coldfells, I really would prefer to starve these guys out so it's not just a replay of Litash. Much the same story with Worm Cove, although there is essentially nothing in Worm Cove. Although I think that I am more than comfortable with ending the turn at this point. Maybe next turn we could capture Worm Cove. I mean, these Dragon Slayers of Erd Mithrin are... They're annoying as hell, but we could take them out with artillery missiles, probably. I'm not entirely sure what we can accomplish, but... Isn't that like... You just don't know what you can do until you try it, right? And there's no harm in trying. You really just gotta believe in yourself. That's what every cartoon that I was raised on, that's what they all told me. Every single one of them. None of them really had any sort of message to convey regarding serving the Dark Lord Melkor, and of course his servants, Sauron and the like. There was no message regarding that particular aspect of my life currently. But, you know, you're just expected to just make it up as you go. Like every adult does in their day-to-day life. Okay, we are going to end the turn, and hopefully nothing horrendous happens. I'm fairly certain we are just going to tick away at Coldfells, Worm Cove, and we will be besieging Byrrig next season. Very interesting. It seems that the Arnorians have withdrawn from the river, essentially just leaving Byrrig to its fate. Captain Aranath is over here, although there was a Captain Eravir, this guy. I'm not entirely sure where he's going, but he's just left himself open to being destroyed very easily out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not entirely sure what he's thinking, but he's leading his men to death, most assuredly. Okay, Lenluck has a new... his retinue has expanded. I guess he has a new courtier, perhaps? A worshipper of Morgoth, treasurer, orc draft. Okay. Q stalled. Wormtongue is just crying relentlessly, and not in a good way. Usually when he's crying, he is laying in bed with a solid dick in hand, just wailing at his private parts in a most disgusting manner. Oh, Eowyn, no! You know, that sort of thing. It's truly repulsive. Also completely outrageous. Okay, we are slowly building the armies, preparing for the final assault on Azanduin Bardoom. Looks to me as if we have received all reinforcements. Pretty sizable force, that's to be sure. Which will very much be augmented by Dawn Death. You know what? This is going to... you know what? We're going to attack Worm Cove. It is going to surrender within 3 turns, but we really don't have that many turns left. 88. So we are going to... you know what? Coldfells is a different situation. There's way too many dwarves there. Okay, we are going to force Aragorn back into Byrreg. Like so. And I just did it again, did I not? Yes, I 100% forgot to move... I forgot to move the siege equipment within the army. And... Yep, really can't move any more units. Okay. That's fantastic. That's truly outrageous. Okay, so... fuck this shit. Next turn, we're gonna have to move that equipment, and I really need to be sure to do it, because... First thing I can think of is that it's really annoying. Very annoying. We also need to keep an eye on this particular river crossing, because there is a potential that the elves will... you know, go around us. And eventually I'm going to have to build these armies. Eventually. I'm pretty sure that's all we can do this turn because I fucked up the sieging of Byrreg, so we're going to end the turn yet again. Besiege the place, and once we've captured Byrreg, we can reforge this army and cross the river and just go straight for Tharbat. I'm fairly certain... I'm not entirely sure how strongly Staddle, Barrow Downs, Bree... None of these places are particularly well garrisoned. Neither is Amon Sul. It just seems that they have quite the amount of field armies. Let's see... Eriador, yeah, they're really plummeting. How is Run and Herod doing? Herod still continuously dropping territorially. Arnor has been eclipsed by Run very recently. Let's see, population-wise, Eriador, very small. Run, Herod, and myself, very closely tied. Interesting. Oh, I've just overtaken... In overall ranking, I think I have just overtaken Run. Look at that. And Herod plummeting down. There was a time. There was a time, my friends. Look how much... Look, we were this distance below Run and almost the exact same amount below Herod. But now we reign supreme, although, to be fair to them, look at our territories. Oh man, it's... night and day. Anyway, let's end the turn, see what happens at the beginning of the next, and then we can go from there. I gotta say, Isengard is really laying a learning to Arnor over here. They have systematically been beating back their armies. It's pretty good. Pretty good for me, anyway. Unfortunately, Captain Aranarth is still at large, living large, and fucking my day, essentially. Captain Eravir is now in position as well to interfere with... the operations around Byrreg. He has not arrived in time to accomplish these things, but he's certainly going to try. We are going to remove our spear units. I don't think we will require them. There are some units of cav, but nothing we can't handle. Alright, next time when we come back, we will assault the walls of Byrreg and most assuredly conquer it without much of a fight. They have hardly any walls to speak of. We have a shit ton of siege equipment and missile units, and I'm fairly certain that won't be a problem. We will also probably, within the same episode, capture Worm Cove, or maybe I'll just do that off camera. That would make more sense. Coldfell's 4 turns away from surrender. I would not be opposed to fighting the battle, but I would very much prefer... You know what? In fact, we're just going to starve them out entirely. I've made my decision. We're going to... That's what we're going to do, because I am very reluctant to fight the dwarves in a settlement. Not so much the Arnorians and the like. So, eventually we will be able to move out of Litash. There's still tons of cultural unrest, and we are still unable to repair the fortress, which I think gives us a public order bonus. But I could very much be wrong. I think I am wrong, in fact. But that's besides the point. When we come back, this is the shit that we will do. We also, if I get around to it, I may build these armies. This is not pressing. The armies in Rohan and Gondor, not pressing, in my opinion. Anyway, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I just keep repeating myself. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment. As always, my name is Incoherence. You guys are fucking awesome, and I will see you all later.